Welcome back to the Ask Rebecca radio show. Thanks for joining me. I hope everyone had a great week. I'm going to get right into tonight's predictions for this week, which run through to next Thursday, May 31st. These are general predictions for everyone in areas of love, work, finances, health, and spirituality. If you're interested in personalized monthly predictions or any other service that I offer, you can go to my website at askrebecca.guru. So, the general themes for this week, I feel like this week some of you can expect to have a lot of mental activity where you could possibly end up feeling exhausted by the end of the week. This mental activity will show up in the form of overthinking, going from your to-do list to a million other thoughts that you have. You can, you'll be traveling to the past, remembering things. You'll be thinking about the future. You're just going to be thinking, and doing more thinking. So again, it's going to be like a million different thoughts. It could show up in the form of worry. You could be worrying about a loved one. You could be worried about finances, jobs, relationships, and any other situations that are happening in your life. Basically, your mind's just going to be all over the place. You could experience some anxiety as well, along with this mental activity. Typically, they kind of go hand in hand. The remedy is simple, but it has its own challenges. And the remedies would be stop thinking. I know that's easier said than done, but just when you catch yourself in a thought loop where you're just constantly thinking, become aware of what's going on inside of your head. Don't get lost in the thoughts, right? And the second that you realize, oh my gosh, all I'm doing is thinking right now, stop yourself, take a deep breath, focus on breathing in and out through your nose. Another trick is to take the tip of your tongue and put it on the roof of your mouth directly behind your teeth, and then just breathe while doing that. And again, focus on breathing and focus on keeping your tongue on the roof of your mouth, and that will help you stop thinking. Now, when you do this and then when you stop, like all it takes is literally a couple of seconds, but then you might find yourself thinking again. So just keep repeating it until you're creating space, and then eventually you'll feel that space in your thoughts. The other thing is to stop worrying. Same advice, do the breathing techniques, and when it comes to worrying, what does that do? Worrying causes undue stress on yourself. You have no control over the majority of situations that are happening. If you do have any control over it, make a choice and take an action step. But if you're worrying about something in the future that hasn't even happened yet, you're really wasting your time and energy and causing health problems for yourself. So again, try to stop worrying and then instead start being, which is just what we're maybe doing right now, like what I'm doing. I'm just sitting here, I'm being, I'm in the moment, and I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm just here. The other thing is start loving, focusing on love in your life, loving yourself, loving other people. See the beauty and love all around you, right? Sometimes we get stuck in only focusing on the negative situations, the things we don't like. We're complaining, about this and that. Again, it's a conscious choice. Stop yourself from going that direction and choose to focus on like, oh, look at that little puppy over there, or, oh, look at that little girl with her dad, or, oh, look at the, again, focus on the beauty and the love. And then the other thing that will help you with this is to start doing, right? Like take action steps. What is causing you to overthink and causing you to worry? Is there a solution to the situation? I'm going to say 100% absolutely. There is. You have a choice in everything. So choose to do something about it. Now, the other version of this mental activity could manifest itself in the form of no mental activity at all. So for some of you, what you could feel is like you could feel blank and you could feel empty and you're not really having any thoughts that are running through your mind. I know that's something that I experienced a lot growing up, and I always thought there was something wrong with me because I wasn't a person that sat around thinking all the time about stuff. Like it just wasn't something I did. And then when people would be like, what are you thinking about? And I would say nothing, they would say that's impossible. And it was true. And then I felt awkward, like something was wrong with me because I wasn't thinking all the time. That I thought that maybe I was not smart or, whatever the case is. So again, this is something that could show up for you. It's a good place to be, right? When you're not lost in your thoughts and you're not worrying and you're not stressing and you're not overthinking, you're in a state of peace. You're in a state of expandedness. You're getting the opportunity to basically allow yourself to feel and be, and there's no thinking needed, right? Like you think when it's necessary. Whatever you do to try to not, whatever you do, try not to force yourself to think or worry, because that's the other thing that'll happen. You'll realize like, oh, I'm feeling, stress-free, and then you're going to try to look for something to be wrong or cause yourself stress about something. It's just old patterns of behavior that we have. Enjoy the peace of mind. And what you could experience along with this feeling of not thinking all the time is you may experience forgetfulness or not being able to find the words that you need when speaking or jumbling your words. Pretty much what I do every episode of this show, right? Because I'm not thinking, like I'm in a state of presence and I'm allowing things to flow through me. So sometimes my brain and my mouth aren't working together and I have to find the words or I misspeak or whatever the case is, but none of that matters. Right? That's not important. What is more important is the fact that you're in a state of peace. And that feels amazing. So again, just enjoy it. And I do feel like everyone could experience a combination of the overactivity and the no activity in the mind. So you could go through, one day where your mind is racing, you're not able to sleep, you're thinking, and then 2 days later, you feel like a zombie because your brain's not working. So just, roll with it. That's the best advice that I can give you. Now, another theme this week is 1111 or 111, that number sequence. Many of you could see this repeated number pattern throughout the week in different forms, in different places. It's just going to be in various places anyway. So for some of you, it will be a sign to monitor your thought patterns, to make sure you're focusing on the things that you want versus the things that you don't want. And monitoring your thoughts. Are they more negative in nature? Are they more critical? Are they more judgmental? Or are you focusing on more positive things, right? So I just feel like, again, it's all about the mind this week. So that could be coming up. Now, for some of you, this number sequence will be a reminder that you're responsible for your life and what you create in your reality. So again, this is about responsibility. It's about you have more power than what you think. You are in control of what you feel. You are in control of the choices that you make. And these are all things that will come to light for you this week through that number sequence. It'll be a reminder. So when you see it, you'll know like, oh crap, it's a reminder of this or that, whatever resonates with you. It can also signify that you're beginning to awaken to your true self and a remembrance of who you really are, which is more than a physical being. It also signifies you're on an accelerated path of gaining self-awareness. And really, there's just countless reasons as to why this number will show up for you this week. You will know why. I do feel like everyone will make the connection as to what this message means for you. And as always, it is also connected to seeing the unseen. So you'll be seeing through false emotions that you have. You'll be seeing through other people's false emotions. You could work through fears of being vulnerable and fears that hold you back from fully expressing who you are and your love. Now, another theme this week is a realization there's only one direction you can go, and that's forward. You've left the past behind and you're no longer going through life with limiting beliefs or old patterns of behavior. You'll notice what you've overcome. You'll see what no longer triggers you and what no longer works for you. I feel like a lot of you will be letting go of old judgments and resentments, and there'll be forgiveness all around. I do feel like you'll feel more balanced, you'll feel content, and you'll be feeling good. You'll have a deep inner knowing, possibly on the subconscious level, that the next step on your spiritual path is to fulfill your heart's desires. And for some of you, you'll be really aware of this. You'll know that you've worked through your junk and you're ready to move forward and start working on all the stuff that you desire. For some of you, it's going to be subconscious. You're not going to really realize that's where you're at yet, because you might be working through a pattern of belief where you're beating yourself up and you can't possibly believe that you've overcome something, right? And even though this is going to be a pretty decent week for everyone, I do feel there will be delays. Everything from flight delays, being stuck in traffic, waiting on answers, waiting on results, waiting on messages. I feel like there'll be delays in hiring. Again, any sort of delay or some sort of setback could pop up for you. Wait patiently, the energy will shift, and everything happens in divine timing. Another somewhat negative aspect you could experience this week is a feeling of being burdened or carrying around burdens. This could show up in romantic relationships, friendships, families, work, traffic, school, and even thoughts in your head that you've been carrying around, causing a burden on your well-being. And, just sort through it all and recognize when emotional burdens belong to you or if they belong to someone else. Because some of you take on other people's dramas and you get too involved in their burdens and they're not your own, and you're like stressing yourself out over other people's stuff. Now, this burden could also show up as being tired. You may just feel physically fatigued. And a lot of this will happen to those of you that have really been busting your butts and working hard on yourselves personally and professionally. You've just been doing too much all the time. So pace yourself this week and take a much needed break. Work, for those of you employed, due to the delay energy, you could experience interruptions at work, delays, setbacks, or interruptions during work, like someone rudely interrupts you while you're speaking, or maybe the fire alarm goes off, or you're pulled away from your work, or your computer crashes. And many of you could be late to work this week as well. And you could also experience a heavier than usual workload. Work, for those of you looking for a job, the energy this week is going to be delaying any new hires or new job openings. Some of you who have been hired to start somewhere may get a call that the training has been delayed or your start date has been pushed back, or all of a sudden the people you've been communicating with aren't returning your calls, or they just kind of go MIA. Don't stress about it. In the end, I feel like everything's going to be fine. You still have a job, just kind of enjoy the extra break. I know you're probably stressing about money, but it's all going to come together for you. Love, those of you in committed relationships, there could be minor arguments and stress. Try to get to the bottom of what's really going on. It's much deeper than the argument over the dishes. For some of you, your partners are going through a difficult time. They need your love and support. And some of you are in a really hard place in your relationships, and you may be in a bit of denial that something needs to be addressed and resolved. Pretending like nothing's wrong is going to backfire. Things could escalate into heated debates for those of you who have been avoiding dealing with ongoing issues. Overall, those of you in happy relationships will have a fairly easy time, with the exception of a minor disagreement over something silly. Those of you looking for love, some of you could feel you found the one this week. There's also a tendency that you'll want to rush things along to feel secure. Instead of pushing or rushing, just be patient and enjoy the ride. The rest, I feel like you guys are in a holding pattern. Again, it's that delay energy. And, try not to stress about it. Don't worry about it. Just redirect your energy, rest, and, and have some reflection on your dating experience and figure out what you want and what you don't want. I feel like that will be a good place to put your energy. Finances, arguments and disagreements over money could arise this week. Those of you who have issues and attachments to money could experience this in an extreme version. The market could fluctuate this week as well. It's not a week to gamble, and those of you who stress and worry about money expect more of the same and maybe even more intensely. My advice, expect the best, but plan for the worst. And you can do both. So those of you avoiding dealing with your financial situations, you could see them be brought out into the open for you to deal with. Health, support your health this week. Try not to overdo things or self-sabotage. Some of you know you have some medical issues or know you aren't feeling well but haven't done anything about it to find out what's going on. Be honest with yourselves and get to the doctor. Some of you are trying too hard to be perfect and could be overdoing it with diets, supplements, and exercise. And stress will play a big factor for everyone this week. Learn some new coping skills, get some vitamins in your body, get a massage, see the chiropractor, sit in the hot tub, take a vacation, float in the pool, soak in the sun. You can see where my mind's at. Those are all the things that I want to be doing. Do whatever will help you de-stress, relax, rest, and get some sleep. Spirituality. I do feel like some of you may decide to leave a spiritual community or a religion that no longer works for you. For me, though, the main theme this week is to unburden yourself, reach out for help if you need it, and just take good care of yourself in every way. And I think if you can do those things and be aware of everything that I just talked about, you'll have a decent week and it won't be that bad. All right, so that covers this week's predictions. Let's take tonight's caller. I have Lori in Barnesville, Pennsylvania. Hi, how are you, Lori?
Hi, Rebecca. I'm stressed.
Yeah, I kind of felt like you were. I feel like you've got some stuff going on. I kind of feel like you've got conflict in several different areas of your life, like it just feels maybe even like some power struggles. I just feel like you've got stuff going on in work, love, all of the above. Where do you want to go? Do you have any specific questions, or what would you like me to address?
Can we kind of go toward my pet? Do you do anything with that? Can we go toward the situation with my pet?
Okay, sure. All right, what kind of pet do you have so I can try to connect? And what's your pet's name?
My pet's name is Zat, Z-Z-A-T. He's a pit bull. He's 5 years old. He's tan and white.
Did you have an incident with him?
I'm having issues with him, with veterinarians and stuff. He was diagnosed with a possible brain tumor over a year ago, and he was given like less than 2 weeks to live at that time, and he made it to his 5th birthday. It's over a year now. And now he's having another issue due to the medications that vets had him on. And some of the vets turned him away at a crucial time when they were his vet for a year. And then another one, like, totally abused my dog and, like, scrubbed him off and put him in pain, screaming pain for hours. And I don't know what's going on, and I don't know if he's going to get better or if I'm going to be able to do legal action with these people and, like, make them pay for what they did to my dog or...
As far as legal action, I feel like
I don't mean suing. I mean like, you know, like disciplinary for them, you know, like against them with the board, you know?
Yeah, I feel like what you can do is, I mean, I don't know much about the veterinarian world, but I'm sure there is some sort of, you know, board of whatever for the veterinarians, but I do feel like a good starting point would be to reach out to the Better Business Bureau and file a complaint with them. And you can also look up the vet on the Better Business Bureau and see if they've had any other allegations or any other kind of misconduct or other, you know, dog owners that have complained about them, because that's, I feel like, is going to be your best bet. And then I would also, you know, I feel like if you genuinely feel they did something to your dog, I would research every avenue, like if they have, you know, a Google review, a Yelp review, anything like that.
I did that today.
I'm sorry, what?
I did that today, the Google review and stuff.
Oh, okay, good. I'm certain, I definitely feel like as you're putting out reviews and contacting the Better Business Bureau, I do feel like you will hear from them. And I feel like they will try to make amends in some way. As far as that, I feel like the medication, was it some sort of a chemo pill? Like, I feel like it was a chemo, like it
It was a steroid that did what's going on with him now.
Gotcha. But did he have like a chemo pill as well?
No, he never had the chemo. He just, we had him on all different kinds of medications to treat him for all different kinds of things. And now he actually has, he started out with these psychomatic seizures, which are where they walk around and they, like, do business without knowing it, and they, like, go about their business, but they're not there. And he was having them, and then they put him on phenobarbital because he had, like, 5 bad instances in a row, and now he has epileptic seizures.
Yeah.
So now, like, they got worse.
I definitely feel like a lot of it is connected to the medication. I feel like, what they were treating him with, obviously it's medicine, there's chemicals. I feel like it's just weakened him more. And I kind of feel like his body is starting to shut down. I would personally recommend maybe trying to reach out to a different vet and see if they can take a look at him. Your dog, Zach, feels like a fighter. Even though he may be out of it, I just feel like he's super lovable. But I do feel like there's a level of suffering that's happening, even though I feel like sometimes he's just on drugs and not really aware of it. But I do feel like you need to get a vet. I don't know if I'm sure they have.
I had a vet come yesterday. It's our old vet actually, and she's working on weaning him off all the medication. So, but it's going to take a couple months to process. I just want to know if I'm going to have a couple months with him, years with him. I mean, his body is wearing down. You can see the atrophy and stuff in him, and he is a fighter.
He is a fighter. I would, and it's funny that you said the vet came to you, because I was going to say, I would have a mobile vet come. The thing that I feel like, do you know if she looked at his, did tests for his kidneys?
No, but they will be coming up because the medicines that he's been on. He's going to have to get tested for his kidneys and liver because the 2 medicines he's on makes him excessively drink and excessively urinate. So, like after we start weaning him down.
Yeah, that's my only concern for him right now. Is I feel like it's connected to his kidneys. And even though he's excessively drinking and urinating, but I feel like part of it is connected to his kidneys. I feel like there's somewhat of a shutting down that's happening.
Yeah. So
the sooner that you guys, the vet can take a look at him and make sure about his kidney levels, and if she can sort that out, I feel like you've got a couple of months with him. But I am very concerned about that, and I'm afraid that it could escalate and happen much more quickly than we would all want.
Okay. That's my major stress issue now. I mean, I have tons of stress issues, but that's like the one that's been occupying me the last 2 weeks.
I don't blame you, because I know exactly what you're going through. I lost my baby in the beginning of January, and it's like losing a family member. It's extremely difficult. So I do see an end in sight. And like I said, I push the vet because, again, there's something about the kidneys. Like, I just feel like there's a shutting down. We still have like 3 minutes left. Where else do you want to go?
How about schooling?
Are you going to school, or you're deciding to go to school, or you haven't started yet?
I'm online. I'm on an online course. I signed up with them 2 years ago. I should have had everything done, and I only got 2 courses out of the 8 done so far. And my deadline is like in June, but the teacher said he'll fight for me if I'm still in the ring, but everything's going wrong in my life, you know, so I don't have time to study.
Okay, so I feel like you've got to, I feel like you could get it done by June if you dedicate, like, you know, maybe set aside an hour or two every day when everybody, like, the day is done, maybe towards the end of the day or first thing in the morning, like when you kind of have peace of mind. And I feel like you can get it done, and I do feel like your teacher will help you if there is a reason, you know, if you do need a delay. Can I ask you what you're going to school for? Because I want to kind of feel where that's going to lead you.
I'm going to be a registered gemologist appraiser through the International Jewelry. They changed their name. They're the IIJA now. They used to be the International School of Gemology.
Oh, that's so neat. I've never heard of anybody doing that before. That's cool. I feel like that will be successful for you. I feel like that will work out. I kind of feel like I feel like June is not going to be bad. Is it the end of June?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like you could do it. Worst case, I feel like you'll have it done during the summer. And then is there like an apprentice type situation with this too, where like you would go and get some hands-on experience?
That's so weird you said that. I'm trying to pay off. I'm paying down to go to Florida, to go to Orlando in September for a 5-day course and the same stuff, you know. And we get hands-on with our teacher and all these gemstones that you really rarely get a chance to see anywhere else. And we get hands-on with our teacher and all these tools and gemstones and stuff in September. But I have to pay it off, and I have to, you know, pay for a hotel, and, you know, that's stressful too.
I know, but just focus on what you want, because I do see you coming to Orlando, and when you do come to Orlando, that's where I'm at. So reach out to me, okay?